The New York Islanders fall to the Detroit Red Wings 2-1 in regulation. Do you folks have any idea how difficult it is to do a podcast after witnessing that horrendous debacle? Uh, it's just it's really tough to come on and talk about the Islanders, and it honestly makes me sometimes when things like this happen wonder why I would even want to do a podcast on the Islanders when this just continues to happen over and over and over again. I thought I would wear this jersey tonight. I thought this was a pretty crappy era in Islander history, and this basically, I just when I was playing in my late, I was still playing hockey in my late 40s, and I needed a practice jersey, so I picked this one up. That's all I've ever worn it out. I'm too embarrassed to wear this jersey. It wasn't a good time for the Islanders. We were never that great when we wore this jersey, so I thought it was kind of appropriate since they kind of reminded me of those teams from that era. It just seems like this has been going on for a long, long time. It didn't matter if it was Barry Trotz. It didn't. It just it like I'm thinking back into the 2000s, that decade. This has been going on. Yeah, we're back with Guerin and Comrie and all those guys, and I just don't think it's ever stopped. And it's just incredible how we blow leads like this time after time. The only team to top us in embarrassment when it comes to things like this is the Leafs by losing to like a Zamboni driver and stuff like that. But other than that, man, we're right at the bottom. Like we it's you have to laugh, as an Islander fan, you have to learn over time how to take things like tonight's events happening in stride. And oh my God, if I was 20 years old right now watching the 1980 New York Islanders, I I I I I would be so upset. I would be you couldn't talk to me and I would have never been able to do this podcast in a million years. But I imagine it would have been kind of along the lines of Steve Dangle just yelling and screaming and everything like that. Like whoever I was with at the time, like if the Islanders did this, whoever my girlfriend was or whatever wouldn't be getting sex that night. I would be that upset. So I've learned to roll with the punches just a little bit here and take it for what it is. We're still missing four major pieces to this team, and yeah, we didn't tread water, but we are kind of treading water, even though it only took this one game to go from being one of the high mediocre teams to down with the low mediocre teams and getting close to lottery territory. So uh yeah, so it was a big game. I mean, we're still hanging around. I mean, I gotta think we gotta start hearing some things about a few people should be starting to hit the ice and stuff like that. I would think we're getting into that. We've at least been at that 4 week range by now, I would think. But I know we got to hang on a little bit longer, and I guess the guys are doing an admirable job. But tonight's debacle was hard to take. So. Much to our surprise, 5 minutes into the game, Simon Holmstrom scores on a shot from Scott Mayfield, and it kind of breaks the 0-0 periods we've been having. I was thinking, all right, looking good, and then we started skating, and then Detroit took over for about 10 minutes in that first period, and I go, nah, it's not looking good. And then the longer the game went on, at 1-0, I said, this is going to come down to the 1-0 score, whether it can be held on to or not held on to. And you got to basically witness that from the 5-minute mark of the first period, watching the Islanders just basically trying to hang on. And in their minds, well, we've got a lead, and if we give up a goal, worst case, we get a point. Well, yeah, usually that's the way it goes. Not tonight, though. The second time this year, I was thinking to myself about what I was going to say on this podcast. I had a feeling we were going to lose in overtime or a shootout. And I was going to say something along the lines of, you know what? I've even forgot what it was. Well, I completely zoned out there. I forgot completely where I was going. Uh my in the mood meter for doing a podcast tonight is simply not there. So to when Detroit scored, it was sure it was bad luck. It was bad luck, but it was like 6 minutes left in the game or whatever it was, 4 minutes and something left in the game. And you just go, yeah, okay, that's par for the Islander course. Par for the Islander course. And so you take the lump. And oh, I remember what I was going to say. I was thinking that I was going to say, even if we lost in the shootout or overtime, about how we at least weren't blowing these games, with the exception of, I think it was St. Louis, where we actually lost in regulation. And now we've done it twice. So we've blown a lot where we've at least gotten a point, but now we've blown two where we've completely blown and not even gotten a point, and that's not good. So, yeah, they tie it on a broken stick, and then Lucas Raymond. I mean, it was a great shot. Didn't see a whole lot of breakdown on that play. Maybe George could have been further out, but it's a fast moving game, and nice shot, nice goal. So one bad break, one shot, one nice goal. Under a minute left in the game, of course. And so the pile of points that we have that we've thrown away this year is getting pretty big. It's getting pretty big. I mean, fortunately, a lot of those times we took a point with us, but no point tonight. And I'll have to total it up. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm guessing we're up around the 6, 7 point range of points we've given away this year. I will think of a point that we got that we shouldn't have got. So maybe I might take a look at the first 20 games and see which ones, I'll minus the ones that we shouldn't have got from the ones that we should have gotten. So that would be interesting to see. But it's lopsided no matter what way you look at it. So let's talk about the players tonight. Let's talk about Sipkov first. I thought the Nelson line was our best line uh, for most of the game. They looked more like them old self tonight. As a matter of fact, they were for about the first two periods, they were pretty much the only line that wasn't getting hemmed into our own end. The other three were pretty much getting hemmed in. Then I thought the Horvat line kind of picked it up a little bit during from about the midway point of the game to the end, but uh just weak sauce at the end. The defending and whatnot it is just insanity. I mean, we had all five guys back behind the red line waiting for the Red Wings to come at us every single time. You could see disaster waiting to happen. You can't lay back like that and expect good things that'll come your way. And it just didn't happen. So yeah, I thought Sipkov had an okay game, but he needs to start contributing. I'm really big on Sipkov, but we need to start seeing some points start to be put up. I thought he was a little slow at getting his shot off tonight. He had a couple of bad giveaways, which is uncharacteristic for him. Uh, so yeah, not his best effort, not a horrible game or anything. Because like I said, I thought our second line was our best line tonight. Simon Holmstrom, a beautiful deflected goal in there tonight, and I thought he was pretty good. I wouldn't say anybody was pretty good tonight. It's kind of like last game where everybody was kind of average. Holmstrom was he made a lot of nice defensive plays out there tonight, though. I did notice that, and he did make offense happen. So it has to go into the category of a good game for Holmstrom, especially scoring the goal. Bo Horvat, once again, I saw another just easy 3-on-2 pass he just couldn't make. And then there was a zone entry in the on the power play. We hadn't even gotten in the zone yet, and we're about 50 seconds into it, and Bo comes storming up the ice, and he goes right that 10 feet from the left winger on the boards and wanting to do that stupid saucer dump backhand pass over the defenseman's stick. And I said it last time, and I said it the time before. Once again, the defenseman knocks the puck down with his stick and just tosses the puck down the ice. It's just, you cannot pass the puck at that slow of a speed anymore. These guys are too good. They will whack it out of the air. You need to come up with something different. I don't care. Dump it in on the power play. We do way better when we dump it in on the power play anyway. Uh, it only makes sense. Like there's so many things wrong with our power play. I don't even know where to begin. This ridiculous breakout pattern from our own end with the drop back pass that I've seen ruin so many of our power plays. I've seen us get screwed up for 30 and 40 seconds at a time where we've bungled it so bad, and they're just forechecking us and we never get it together, and it takes first time we get into their end is with like a minute and 20 seconds left in the power play. First thing, that has got to go. I mean, it only makes common sense. If you take a guy like if I have the power play, I've got Dobson as the guy who's going to pick up the puck behind the net. Barzell's going to be my drop back option. And if when Dobson gets past that first guy, and you just keep going. Like if he gives you the easy access, you don't try to pass it around him and behind him to get it back to Barzell. You just keep freaking going. Now there's only imagine they're on the blue line. Now there's three posts. The posts are 6 feet two and they weigh 200 pounds, and they can move laterally 5 feet either way, but there's only three of them. Or do you keep continually dropping the puck back, have to go through the same guy more than once because he's back on the opposing blue line by the time you keep doing all these drop passes? And now you've got four poles across the blue line with a 5 foot radius of going either way. Which is easier to get the puck into the end? The 4-on-3 or the 5-on-4? It's a no freaking brainer, people. These guys are so big nowadays. The room is scarce. I'll take 4-on-3 every single day. And almost every time Noah does it, he gets in, but he rarely does it. But I digress. I digress. Bo Horvat, yeah, as I'm talking about him, I guess, like I said, he picked it up at the end of the game there. Still, we need more out of them. Like I said, they were getting hemmed in the first period and a half, so it wasn't really a great job for our first line tonight, and it showed in our performance. Like we're just not scoring. I mean, think about it, people. We've scored one goal against the Detroit Red Wings in 2 games. We've scored one goal, one goal. Let that sink in. Crazy. Matt Martin, not his worst game as an Islander. As a matter of fact, the fourth line is probably the best I've seen him in a while. They even actually had one shift where they hemmed the where they hemmed the Red Wings in, and I mean, they were getting hemmed in, sure, but it wasn't an onslaught when they were getting hemmed in like it normally is, and it's hard to get mad at when they were getting hemmed in when two other lines were constantly getting hemmed in, and even you could even make it a full four lines, even though the second line Nelson was our best line, they took their turn at getting hemmed in once or twice too as well, so. Nobody was not guilty of that tonight. That is for sure. So I guess I'll give Martin a pass as one of the better games for him and even on the plus minus. And I like keeping his minutes down low, but he earned what little ice time I guess he got tonight. Pierre Engvall, back to Vanilla Engvall tonight. Geez, he had about a good 5 or 6 game run there where he was looking really solid. And then you could just, you could so see it tonight. It was amazing. It was like everything was 3/4 speed. Everything was 3/4 speed. For the last 5 games, Pierre Engvall has been flying. Like, and I mean flying and engaged. And then you could literally see his 3/4 speeds. You could see it in his back check. You could see it in his board work. You could see it everywhere. It was just, and I just call him Vanilla Engvall at that point because he just becomes such a non-factor and it's amazing. Like I guess he's happy. He got his 3 goals, right? He's now in the lineup again. So all's good. So let's see how long Vanilla Engvall will last once we get Duclair and Barzell back. Hopefully, either I see the Engvall I saw for the last 5 games or this one that played tonight can back to Bridgeport. See you later. Paul Mary, I thought was better tonight. He had a lot more jump. He was more engaged tonight. Like I said, I did think the second line was the best line for the Islanders tonight. So he had a couple of good opportunities. Sipakov set him up twice, really, really nice. And a couple of times, I mean, both of them were identical plays from Sipakov that twice he's scored on, but tonight he didn't score on either one of them. But they were pretty much replica plays. Beautiful, beautiful passing plays by the Islanders on those ones. But you're not going to score on them all. So, but it was nice to see Palms have a bit of a bounce back here. From I thought he was the anchor on that line last game. So good job, Palms. Wally, I was pretty concerned with Wally because he hadn't 2 opportunities early and he just ripped them off the glass. And I thought to myself, like, don't get me wrong. And I've talked about this on my podcast. I know he's shooting for a little spot like that big in the net. And you're going to miss the net when you're trying to pick that hole. But every once in a while, you gotta just get your confidence going or whatever. Get the puck down and make sure you get it on net. And I thought, man, about 10 in a row, he didn't get on net. Then in the third period, he got like 3 shots on net, and I went, "Yeah, that's the Wally I'm looking for." And he was skating hard and everything. So, like I said, I thought the fourth line had a lot of well, at least Wallstrom had a lot of good chances to score tonight, and I think even Martin had one good chance to score. So uh, it was nice to see him finally get those shots on net. Didn't score, but you got to start hitting the net, Wally. Start putting those in soon. Anders Lee, I didn't think this was his best game of the night. I still thought his board work and everything was pretty good. Once the line picked it up, then I thought Anders looked a little better, but I just thought Anders looked a little sleepy tonight. Just pretty much what I saw from him during the game. Brock Nelson, I thought, picked it up, and I've been talking about it. He's slowly seeming to pick up speed again. So hopefully we'll have Brock scoring again in short order. So especially if the second line plays like they did tonight, but they can play so much better than they did tonight, guaranteed. Guaranteed. So we need that second line back. These guys really need to carry us until Barzy and Duclair get back into the fold. Pajot, I thought, had a really good defensive game tonight. Uh, Once again, same story as for Lee. Kind of once picked it up, midway point of the game, looked a lot better playing. I could see the effort of the Pajot. So that's pretty much what I just need from anybody. So I thought that was good. Same could be said for Casey Cizikas. I saw some old vintage Casey, a little bit of the super aggressive forechecking kind of deal thing that Casey was renowned for. And so there was signs there. I mean, I have to realize that Casey is older and he can't be that buzz saw that he once was. But it's nice to see some flashes of that buzz saw. So good job, Casey. Ryan Pollock, I thought had a pretty good game tonight. Wasn't really noticeable, which just means he's doing a really good job on the defensive side. He did try to work his way into the offensive side, but just, block shots and things like that were happening tonight. But he was down to 21 minutes tonight, and Dobson, he can be so much better. I'm just waiting for so much better out of this guy, and there's times when I can see it's with Dobson, it's the frustration of how casual he does everything. That's just the bottom line of it. He's just one of those players, and they get labeled it, and they're labeled it for life that you just expect more from. You always expect more. And I guess you got to take Noah for what he is. Defensive lapses, but you'll take his offensive side, but we're not really seeing his offensive side. But I know that's going to come back. That part of his game, I'm not worried about. It's just on the defensive side of the puck. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about Dobby. Mayfield, what a warrior. I mean, this guy, he finally got himself, what did he get tonight? Oh my gosh, he actually got a plus again tonight. How did he do that? Scott Mayfield, did you really do that? He did. The guy is just a plus minus machine. It's a plus whether we win or lose with Scott. And what he did on the PK tonight was absolutely outstanding. If there was one thing the Islanders did well tonight, it was that they went 3 for 3 on the PK against the second best power play in the NHL. So there's big kudos for that. And a big part of that reason is Scott Mayfield. The guy is absolutely a warrior on that PK, and Scotty got himself 21 minutes of ice time. He also got himself an assist tonight. It was a nice shot. I always love when Scott gets involved in the offense. Something about it. I just always feel so happy for him. Chalosky, he was playing alongside Mayfield most of the time. He ended up +1 as well with 13 minutes of ice time. So talked about that ice time last time. I said I'd like it between 12 and 14 and bring him in at 13 minutes. I'm pretty happy with that. He was in the plus department, got a couple shots on net. So out of your fifth, sixth defenseman with the injuries we have, I'll take that from him anytime. Romanov just playing in his typical great defensive game. He hits, he just plays defense very well and had another good night, even though he was -1, but it's just weird. It's hard to blame somebody for a broken stick, right? You get a -1 on a broken stick. I thought that Isaiah George had his best game as an Islander tonight. I thought he was just terrific. He did so many good things right tonight. There were so many times. I love how this kid slows the play down. I love the way both him and Sipikov slow the play down to their advantage, and they're very, very good at it. And George is very good at it, and he's very good at being deceptive. He'll let you think you're getting him, and then he just changes the angle just one little bit and tears off, and it's something to see. He's done it a couple times. I've seen him do it a couple times as the last man back, and that's when some of those moves get a little bit risky. But he's pulling it off, and I just love seeing the confidence in him doing that. And I thought overall he was really good defensively in that. So really super happy with Isaiah's game tonight. And he got himself almost 20 minutes of ice time and a couple shots on net. So really good game by Isaiah. And that I think everybody remember, I think it was 1-0 just before they scored the tying goal. Isaiah came all the way across to break up that one play. He just came flying with his speed. That was a great defensive play. Well done, Isaiah. Nice game. Ilya Sorokin, man, this guy must think his teammates absolutely hate him. I mean, talk about never scoring for a goaltender. Like, the Islanders basically give Ilya one goal to work with tonight. It's like either Ilya, you either get a shutout so that we can win, or you only let one in So we get a point, and you can let two in because we still get a point, but we lose an overtime or shootout. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. Like, um, it, he's already lost one game, 1-0 in overtime. He lost another game, 1-0. Unreal. So Sorokin was fantastic tonight. 935 save percentage, and it should have been 1,000. It should have been 1,000 save percentage, but that's just the way it goes. Like he played very, very well. I should say Lyon played really good down at the other end too as well. So anyway, that's really disappointing because after last game we moved our way into a playoff spot. Buffalo coming to bumped us out by tying us, but their RWs are better. So back we fell to ninth, but we're really gonna fall. Now we're really gonna fall with this loss. If we had gotten a point, we would have been okay. We would have been okay. We would have been doing that holding water kind of level, but it's not gonna be okay now. We're behind the eight ball and we still got time to kill off before Barzy, Duclair, and Pellick and them come back. So that's what we've got for now. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Disappointing loss for the Islanders, but I know you're all used to it. So do your best. Just remember, life goes on, and it's good to get back off the road and onto the island so that we can win some games. So all you guys and girls out there, you take care and peace out.